Okie dokie, welcome back to another vintage video and happy Final Fantasy Day. The new set dropped yesterday and today I'm going to play some combo dredge with the newest, biggest dread return target. And we've got this guy here, Summon Bahamut, which is going to be a lot of fun. So, it's a saga creature, 9/9 flyer with 4 chapters. When it enters the battlefield, it will destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Chapter 2, it will do the same thing. Chapter 3, we'll get to draw 2 cards. And then Chapter 4, the main event, this creature deals damage equal to the total mana value of other permanents you control to each opponent. So, clearly, if we're casting a Dread Return, to reanimate our creature, then Chapter 1 on this guy is just not good enough, right? It's going to come into play, I'm going to kill like a Mox or a Psychic Frog or something, and then it's irrelevant. Chapter 2, also the same thing. Chapter 3 is quite interesting for us. Draw 2 cards means we're going to get to, dredge another 10 off of our Stinkweed Imps or something, so that's quite cool. But really we want to just be ramping to Chapter 4 as fast as possible, which is quite difficult in Vintage, because that's going to be like, what, turn 2 Dread Return, if we're lucky. That means, what, turn 1, turn 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn 5, this guy triggers, which at that point we're already dead. It's far too slow. So, how do we push this through? Well, we've got 4 Bridge from Belows. We've got 4 Icarids. We've got 3 Poxwalkers and 3 Narcomoebas. So our first Dread Return will trigger some bridges. And our first Dread Return will get the Bahamut here. Our second Dread Return is going to get a Scholar of the Lost Trove, which is a 5/5 flyer. And when it comes into play, we get to flash back a spell. So I'm going to flash back another Dread Return. That Dread Return is going to hit a Scholar of the Lost Trove, and we're going to hit a Radstorm. Radstorm is from another Universes Beyond set, Fallout, and it just says Proliferate with Storm. So after all of our Dread Returns, we'll cast the Radstorm, and we'll aggro Proliferate our Summon Bahamut, and we'll have 14 plus 9 on the Poxwalkers, and bang! Mega Flare, you're dead. So that's the joke. There is some fuckery afoot, and we're going to run this through a league with our new big Dread Return target. After that, it's all the normal stuff: Grief, Thugs, Shells, Imps, Therapies, Revivals, Powders for Bazaars, a little bit of interaction, combo Dredge with Summon Bahamut, Radstorm as the kill. So, wish us luck. Okie dokie, in round 1 we're on the draw up against WLS. Not a username I recognise, which is fun. And we don't have a Bazaar of Baghdad. They do have a Lurrus of the Dream Den. This is an easy mulligan for us. Okay, so we'll go to 6 and we'll find double Bazaar. No Dredger, but that's fine. I've got a Misstep to interact with. I've got a Dread Return target already. We can put the Powder on the bottom, or maybe the Narc. I don't have any Force of Will, so it's probably better just to put the Narc in the bin, right? On the bottom. I would presume that to be true. Keep, please. And oh no, I literally just said I'll put the Narcomoeba away because I don't have Force of Will, so this is actually factually better in my deck. Because if I deck myself, then I've got a Narcomoeba on the bottom. Oppo went to 6 there on the play. 6 each. Fair fight. Underground Sea. Black Lotus, not a fan. And that's it, okay, that's fine. So, this could be an Upkeep Ancestral, this could just be 2 Bowmasters. It is not clear. 4 cards left over at the other side of the table. We're really in the market to finding a Dredger here. They're paying some costs, so I imagine I'm getting Bowmanned. Oh, but I'm only getting Bowmanned off of... So they're floating blue mana, so maybe it's both of those things. They hit me, that's fine. No Dredgers again, that's quite problematic. So let's discard Therapy. Therapy Sphinx, I guess. They're the ones I want in the bin. Opponent hits us. If I miss on Dredgers next turn, it could start getting painful. Opponent's got 2 mana left floating over there. And nothing to do with it. Okay. That seems fine. The moment we hit a Dredger, the Orcs are irrelevant, so that's kind of what we're working towards here. They have a Wasteland for my Bazaar of Baghdad, that's fine, I've got another one of those rolled up. Although that does slow me down quite a lot, right, because I don't have an upkeep flick. So it might just be past the turn and see if I can get through their combat step before activating. Then if I draw a hollow one, I'm interested in doing sorcery speed stuff. That's a Poxwalker. I guess I just passed with the Bazaar in play. Opponent's got 3 cards. I'm going to take 4 on their combat step down to 9, and then I'll take 2 more post combat, unless of course they Wasteland me again. They've got a Polluted Delta. So I go to 9, and then an activation here, even if they flash in another Bowmaster, is only 4. But I do need to hit a Dredger here, to be honest with you. I find a Dredger, I find 2 Dredgers. So let's discard all the Dredgers. I've got therapies galore. Yeah, I take some damage. It's fine. I'm at 7. I've got plenty of food for this, or plenty of life points for this misstep. Upkeep, we can go. We can get our graveyard out now that it's relevant. And we'll activate the Bazaar. We need to hit some Narcomoebas here, and there's 2 that are vacant. 1 in hand and 1 on the bottom. So Stinkweed Imp and Stinkweed Imp are the plan. We miss on everything, so I'm going to discard Radstorm and 2 Stinkweed Imps. No Bahamut there. Taking 6 on combat. Oh, I missed. So it goes. Taking 6 on combat, dead to another Bowmaster because I forgot I have a draw step. I was trying to think about next turn. That was a mistake. Not a great way to start. Opponent has an Undercity Sewers. So I don't have plenty of life points to play around with this misstep then. They pitch a Spell Pierce. Looks like they're going to come in again. I go to 1. And they don't have anything. Okay, so take 2. Icarid triggers. We go over the top of Icarid. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. Discarding Stinkweed Imps and Dread Return. Icarid makes its way in. Eating a Grief, hopefully. There's one there. Draw step, I'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp, I imagine. They can't have a Bowmaster, otherwise the game would be over. And we find the Bahamut. So, if I cast a Therapy targeting you, I will get 3 bridge tokens and 2 Poxwalkers. Then I can Therapy again, generating 3 bridge tokens and more Poxwalkers. And then I've got everything to do, I think, from there. So let's go Cabal Therapy you off of Icarid. I get Poxwalkers and bridge tokens. And then we just go through the list of permission, right? How many Dread Returns do I have? 2? That's plenty. So they got rid of a Spell Pierce. I think we just start on Force of Will. Well, it's resolving. So maybe I'll just go Flusterstorm to start. No, that wouldn't... I'm going to just go Force of Will. I don't see a need to do anything else. They've got Force of Negation, Fatal Push, Null Rod. Okay, so we'll take that negation quickly off of this Poxwalker, and Poxwalker immediately comes back alongside 3 more bridge tokens. Very cute. So this was flashback, negation, right? Force of negation. Yeah. What's interesting here is they can push their own Orc and then all of my bridges would die, but they haven't seemed to find that line just yet. So let's summon Bahamut. Pew! Bang bang. I've got some tokens as well. The Poxwalkers come back. Summon Bahamut hits the battlefield, and I will destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. I guess I'll hit a Poxwalker. Because I don't want to kill their stuff, right? I'll kill my bridges. I get some tokens. And then I'm going to Dredge return my Sphinx of the Lost Trove off of Poxwalker, bridge token, bridge token. This is great. My Poxwalkers come back. I get 3 more bridge tokens. Okay. This guy comes into play and I copy Radstorm, which is proliferate with Storm. Let's get rid of the graveyard for a moment just so I can click buttons properly. Cast this, yes please. Boom. I'm going to proliferate. Okay, so I don't know how proliferate works on Magic Online. Let's find out. I'd like to proliferate this guy. Done. Destroy Poxwalker. Okay. Proliferate this guy. And then I get to dredge some more. So the graveyard's going to return. Say done. Draw 2 cards. I would love to draw a Golgari Grave Troll. And a Stinkweed Imp. Narcomoeba. What a banger. So I hit another Dread Return off that. No. I'd like to use Narcomoeba's ability, yes. And then Radstorm, proliferate this guy, I guess. And then you'll blow up. I'm not going to deal a lot of damage actually, am I? Yeah, only like 9 or 10. Oh, but the bridges go again. Hilarious. I don't have another Dread Return. Well, I can just therapy them into the ground now. Done. Done. Okay, so a flaw in the plan is if I miss on 2 Dread Returns. So is there anything else I want to do? Yes, I would like to therapy you and take your Fatal Push. Opponent has a push. Oh, they found the line. They found the line. Okay. All my bridges go away. I feel like we're a bit late on that train, though. I've got 26 tokens at this point, but that's fine. I'll just take their Null Rod then. And then I'm dead to Ancestral, I'm dead to Time Twister, I'm dead to the next Bowmaster. Do I need any more therapies to happen? Not really. You'll go. That was cool. A nice concept, or proof of concept. Maybe some flaws. 7 of them. But we did the thing. Opponent's turn. And I can still lose because I messed up that dredge earlier and just took a card draw instead. Opponent concedes. Perfect. That was fun. What do I want against Lurrus? I want the Vigors, because they're going to be on spell bombs and stuff like that. Sickening Shoal, just in case they've got the odd rogue Yixer Jailer over there. I think I can drop a Poxwalker. I think I can drop an Icarid. I think multiple Radstorms is wrong, but I just want redundancy. Because then I can go again. You know, I can Radstorm up, blow it up, and then I can Radstorm again off of the 2 cards that I drew. So that's why I want 2. I need to find 4 cuts if this is how I'm sideboarding. I don't think I can cut Grief too aggressively. I need the Shambling Shell if I'm bringing in the Vigors. What if I don't bring in Sickening Shoal and I just assume they're not on creatures? Then maybe I can come off like a Therapy and a Grief. Yeah, right. We'll give that a bash. If they play a Yixer Jailer, then, you know, I've got 4 hollow ones. You know? That's where we'll stand on that one. Okay, game 2. Opponent has a Lurrus, I have a Mulligan. Cool hand otherwise. And I've got a Bazaar, I've got Interaction 2 ways. I'll keep this. And I'll bottom probably just the Therapy. Yeah, and we'll see what opponent pops up with. Scalding Tarn. Immediate fetch. Underground Sea. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. So I can go now or I can go later. I think I like go later on their turn and resolve a Grief first. So I'm going to play Bazaar. And I'm going to activate Bazaar. I need to keep this Shambling Shell around. Maybe I don't need to keep this Shambling Shell around. What if I go Bridge Shell Powder, Grief U, off of the Imp, Vigor U pitching Revival, get countered, untap Dredge Shell, Vigor U pitching Revival. Pitching Shell. Yeah, no, I like that. So, what did I just say? I said I'm going to discard Bridge from Below, Shambling Shell, Serum Powder. I cast Grief. And if the way is clear, we can just pitch a Vigor, and we're gaming. And if the way isn't clear, then we'll pitch the Revival. So, Grief comes into play. We'll take a cheeky look. An opponent has double Spell Pierce, Fatal Push, Momentum Breaker. Well, that's enough to ruin my day, actually. So I guess I take Spell Pierce. Or do I take Brainstorm? No, I take Spell Pierce. And I get a token. Opponent's hand is pretty terrible after this, though. And then do I upkeep this? Upkeep, eat your Spell Pierce. You draw random, miss a land drop. Untap Dredge 3, run it back. Yeah, I think I have to go now. Pitching Revival. So this will eat the Spell Pierce. Oh my god, they just let it go. Okay, so they still have a Spell Pierce in hand and I'm utterly confused. So they draw a land, they play a land pre-Brainstorm, which is wild because I'm a lock to untap with Bazaar. They let the Grafdigger's Cage go. They find a Lotus. Does that do anything? They're paying costs again. Did you just come up with another hate piece? Well, I'm just going to go all in here. I don't think I've got any other options. Opponents brainstormed. They seem to be somewhat locked, though. They've got Spell Pierce floating around somewhere, but apparently they don't like their Spell Pierce. Or they Ancestral themselves response to my Bazaar activation. Yeah, okay. Seems fine. I dredge 3. I find some stuff. 2 Narcs is cool. But we're going to be kind of slow, and I feel like we're up against a bit of a clock here, now that our opponent's Ancestral. But Ancestrals only draw 1, right? Because they brainstormed, so it's not so bad. I guess it depends on what that one is. I've got a Dread Return there, so I could just Dread Return a Grief. Let's get in for 2 and Dread Return a Grief. Bish Bash. They're holding Spell Pierce, but I can eat the thing, and I get 2 tokens anyway. So yeah, let's Dread Return Grief and try and just nickel and dime them, because I feel like I could be light on resources going through this game. And I want to get as much board presence and damage done. Okay, the Spell Pierce is just not around apparently. Okay, they do have a Spell Pierce. They don't have anything good. They've just got Lurrus next turn. Lurrus into Momentum Breaker. Spell Pierce, Fatal Push. Lorien revealed. Do I want to just take Lorien? Yeah, I guess so. Just take Lorien so that they can't just draw 3, you know? Because now they're just sat there trapped with a relatively shoddy hand. Like, any top deck can just break it open. Looks like they're going to commit to a Lurrus, though. Yeah, buys Lurrus, plays Lurrus. Oh, because then they can get back onto the cage next turn. Right, I see. Unless they found a Mox here. They didn't. So now they're holding Push, Momentum Breaker, Spell Pierce. Lurrus is in play. +1. But I've got another activation. It's only a Dredge 3 at this point. And I've got a Dread Return. And if I can hit, I'm a lock to hit the double Icarid Dread Return. So that could cost me all my dredges, but I feel like the damage I'm going to output is going to be ridiculous. So let's go Shambling Shell. I hit a Poxwalkers, another Grief, a Therapy. I will eat the Grief, and I'll eat the Shambling Shell. Dredge a Golgari Thug. Hit another Bridge from Below. And I'm just going to attack them with all my creatures and see if they want to block with Lurrus. If they do, I'm not too fussed. I get 2 zombies for the privilege. This is a sum of damage. They do go with the block, so the cage is going to be out of the action. Let's just make sure we stack this properly. So I get 2 tokens. Lurrus is dead. Cage is gone. They've got to work with Spell Pierce, Fatal Push, Momentum Breaker, and whatever's left over. And I am about to Therapy you, sacrificing Grief. Getting back a Poxwalkers, naming Spell Pierce. And we win the match. And then I was going to Dread Return the Grief and take whatever their new hate piece is. I can't imagine they've got anything because they would have cast it last turn. But okay, so we got to do the thing. The thing wasn't quite as powerful as we'd drawn it up in paper. And then we had like a classic post-board, just slightly grindier, slightly more gritty game. So, a good start. Let's keep going. Okay, then. Round 2. We're up against Alpha Omega, who's had my number recently. They do, in fact, have a Lurrus. And I think they're PO. I think they're Monkey PO. We'll find out. We'll find out. This hand, obviously, we're going to 6. Find the Bazaar, find a Grief, and probably going to bottom the Narc again. I liked that in game 1. I am on the draw, which is pretty brutal. I imagine I'm supposed to pitch Dread Return to grief. Narc can go away. They've got 6 cards. Let's hope they're not too good. Scalding Tarn. Going straight away. Finds an Underground Sea, okay. And a Vexing Bauble. Well, that's problematic. Okay, so we just got to go back onto like a... Not back onto, but we just got to go onto... normal scheduled broadcasting sort of thing. Let's go... Bridge Icarid Thug. Because this is going to be a Bridge from Below Icarid game. That's how we close this one out. Opponent can't deploy Moxen. And that might end up being decent for us. They've got a Tundra. Thunder Trap Trainer's fine. They find Ancestral Recall. Less fine. Less fine. Back to me, and I'm going to go over the top of my Icarid with my Thug. We'll dredge 4. We'll dredge 6. Oh, 6 is a lot. And I get the world. Okay, so we will discard just the Dredgers and the Sphinx, I think. I would love a Narcomoeba, and I would like an Icarid, yes. I will eat a Golgari Thug. And now I'll dredge 6 off a Grave Troll. And I'll Therapy U off of a Narcomoeba. I get some creatures into play. My card gets countered. I didn't discard my Dread Return. Maybe I should have. Never mind. In we go for 3. Opponent can block here and then get rid of my 2 bridges, and that might be worth it. Goes for that line. Opponent and opponent, so I get 2 zombies on the way out. Yeah, I wish I'd discarded this Dread Return. For some reason I did not. I discarded the Sphinx instead. Opponent takes a draw step, casts the Ancestral that we know about. I may need to get rid of this Bauble, and we'll need to convert the game immediately if they do. Because if they don't, I can't see them untapping. 7 cards though. 3 fresh ones. Oh, 4 fresh ones, right? They had a draw step as well. We made a little misstep last turn, because I would have liked to send my Poxwalkers and 1 zombie away to a Dread Return, just because that would have made my board that much wider, right? I would have got 4 more tokens, and then traded off and got 2 more tokens. So I'm down about 20 power from that small mistake. I guess if you're down 20 power, it's not a small mistake, is it? And one thing that's interesting here is I can actually hit them for 17 next turn. They play a Soul Ring. And an Academy. And stock up, leaving a blue floating. Okay, opponent passes back. They leave the Vexing Bauble in play, which is upsetting to say the least, but we will go again. Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp. I find a Dread Return this time. I don't think that matters though. So let's just discard the Dredgers. I'll have a Narcomoeba. I'll grab an Icarid Eating Grief. I'll dredge 6. I'll grab a Narcomoeba. There's no way I can make anything hasty this turn, is there? No. So let's attack, I presume. I think my opponent goes to 1 if I can count. Yeah, that's a shame. Do I want to do anything else? I've got 2 Dread Returns. I've got the 1 in hand, so I can Therapy you off of Poxwalkers. And I can Therapy you off of Poxwalkers. And I can Dread return an Ichorid off of Poxwalker, Poxwalker, Poxwalker. And then my Ichorid can die and I'll get a token. Okay, opponent's at 1, I need to die. They crack the bauble. Here goes the PO turn. Eight cards after the bauble crack. All the zeros. So no red sources out of the mana base so far, but they did play the Scalding Tarn. I don't know if that's just like a bunch of 2/2/2 sort of thing on the fetchline mana base, or whether that's their monkey PO. I'm going to see how they kill us, I'm afraid. I might fast forward this bit for you guys, depending on, I guess, how much effort I put in afterwards. But storm count is 10, so, you know, if I could proliferate, I could proliferate a lot. They play the Saga, and then the Saga's good, right? Cool. So I'm going to bring in the Vigors again. Do I want the Mindbreak traps? 8 cards seems like a lot. Obligatory Thug can go, and then I like the Griefs. I think 1 Poxwalker is going to be an acceptable trim. Maybe 2 Griefs. A Therapy. That's 4. Can I cut a Dread Return? I've got 3 targets and 3 Dread Returns. That seems acceptable. What about a Radstorm? I don't know if I enjoy cutting it, but I will cut 1. I'll keep some of the joke in. So that's 6 cuts there. Noxious puts my embarrassing green count somewhere decent. Oh, I don't need a good green count. And do I want to cut a Sphinx? So what would that be? It'd be summon Bahamut, summon Sphinx, Radstorm you. Just get rid of an Ichorid. Let's just trim 1 of each thing. React to what they're doing. The Mindbreak traps might be nonsense, but the ability just to get them on Mox land stock up, you know, that sort of play is the sort of thing they'll keep a hand on. And if I can punish that with my double Mindbreak trap opener, I won't mind. Double Bazaar, double trap, double shell. I like it all. So we'll just clean and easy draw 2 here. Triple trap. I will pitch the shell. What do I pitch? Yeah, I pitch the shell because I can pick it back up in a moment. And I've got all of my sideboard cards in my hand. So let's hope we don't die on turn 1. It's going to be difficult to, though. But just land Vexing Bauble obviously invalidates my whole hand. So Mox Pearl, Mishra's Bauble. We'll trap that. Plays an Academy. And I'll trap your stock up as well. They Force of Will back. They're down to 1 card. I'll trap your Force of Will and your stock up. And say done. I hope that's what I did. Yep. They bauble me to see what I'm not drawing. Everything resolves. A nice triple trap stack there for us. Got it all. Every piece of the Buffalo. They've got 1 card left in hand. I'm just going to untap. They get a card. Congratulations. Draw a shell. Play a Bazaar. Pass to you. Look. No, I'm fine. I'm happy just to dink this. Declare you have no mana. Opponent forced to fluster. That's fine. There's an argument there where I can just ignore what they're doing and then just try double bazaring them into the ground. They've got a Flooded Strand and nothing else. So in your end step, I can dredge 3 and a Stinkweed Imp as well. And then I can dredge a bunch, Golgari Grave Troll and Stinkweed Imp. I get a Solitary Narcomoeba, Tiz Butter Jellyfish, and I've got some Ichorid triggers. We'll go over this as well. 29 cards, plenty to see, lots to do. Grave Troll, Stinkweed, and then Grave Troll, Stinkweed. That puts me out to 7 cards. So then I'll just dredge a Thug, I think. Or would I not dredge at all? What have I got in my graveyard? I've got a Bahamut. I've got a Sphinx. I've got just 2 bridges. A number of Poxwalkers. So maybe I just don't need to dredge actually. Because then the Bahamut will draw me 2 cards. That'll put me down to 5. Oh, opponent's got plays. I'm not fond of this. Okay, they've just got a Meticulous Archive. That means I can't get Ancestral, which means I don't need to play around things anymore. Eat a Grief. Eat a Grief. Dredge Step. I think that means I can just go for the. I can't go for the Grave Troll. I'll just get a shell. Let's just be slightly safer. So let's Therapy you off of a Narcomoeba. What do I name? Path to Exile? Swords to Plowshares. That one's probably more likely. They've got a Misty Rainforest. Okie dokie. And then now I can Therapy off Poxwalkers. How many Poxwalkers do I have? Just 2. Bit of a shame. Yeah. You've got a Misty Rainforest. My board state is too big for me to deal with. So now what do I want to do? I've got 2 Dread Returns. Have I got a Radstorm? I've got a Radstorm. So let's Dread Return the Bahamut off of Poxwalker Zombie Token. Dink dink. Okay. Destroy your Pearl. And now we'll Dread Return Sphinx of the Lost Trove. You can't concede, opponent. How rude. I was about to Radstorm you. And then this time it would have been enough, right? 7 plus 3 is 10. And that would have been like 23, 24. Oh man. Imagine putting your counting skills on display on the internet. Oh well. 7 plus 3 is 10. Right, do I want to sideboard differently? No, I just want to draw 3 Mindbreak traps on turn 1. That's what I want to do. I actually think I'm going to try and grab some Sickening Shoals quickly. I've already pressed submit. I'm going to drop a Thug and a Sphinx. And try and grab a couple of Sickening Shoals just in case they've got that Containment Priest or something. Okay then, game 3 against the beginning and the end. And I have got to mulligan. Oh no, and again. Oh, now we get a Powder though, that's cool. I'll keep Sickening Shoal and I'll keep Sphinx. And now I'll get rid of these ones. And now I'll actually just mulligan. And now we'll go to 3. And now we'll Powder. A Bazaar at Baghdad. So I'm going to bottom some cards, and then I'm going to put all of my hopes and prayers onto this hollow one. Opponent kept 7. And they zap in a Springs. Play a Ruby. Play a Soul Guide Lantern. Played around it. Play a Mox Opal. Might just be dead. No, that's it. Okay, 3 cards left on the other side of the table. No, I don't care. I'm going to activate. If I hit a shell here, I don't. Okay. So Dredge returns in a Force of Vigor. Hey, look at my 4/4. 4/4 is in. Opponent cycles a Lorien Revealed. Finds a Tundra. So they're going to have a quick Lurrus onto looping Soul Guide Lanterns. They have a stock up. Okay. Also bad for me. Plays a Mana Crypt. Plays a Thunder Trap. Gets a Soul Ring, plays Soul Ring. Cool. I will do a little flip with the Bazaar. It doesn't hurt anyone. Oh no, another Bazaar. And I find a Narcomoeba. And our game plan here, as it is on the mulligans to 2, is fairly limited. I'm going to attack you for 4. And then I'm going to lose. So 1, 2, 3 off of Soul Ring and Mana Crypt. Opal, Tundra, Ruby. And then they've got Lurrus in play. They can loop Soul Rings. I deal 1 damage a turn, and that can be infinitely blocked by Thunder Trap Trainer. Or they can just PO for 6. And then they've always just got that plan behind as well, haven't they? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Let's go somewhere else. That was fun, though. Okay, round 3. We're up against Giusti, who also has a Lurrus. I go to 6, then I go to 5. Oh. And then I get to keep this hand. So Poxwalkers can definitely go, and then I guess Icarid. And then I can dredge back onto Grief next turn. I can possibly clear a path for my Noxious to resolve. Yeah, I think this has got to be it. Oh, I'm on the play as well. Okay, cool. So I'm going to activate first because I want to discard Shell and Bridge, and I want to pitch a different black card, and then I can dredge back onto Shell next turn if I draw another Grief or something? No. I don't know. Well, if I go Shell, Revival, Bridge from below, I'm really exposed to Wasteland. So if I just go Shell, Therapy, Bridge for now, cast a Hollow one, this might just eat a Force of Will in itself. I'm not going to Therapy them, but now if they do decide to be a dick about it and Wasteland me, I can dredge onto Grief, get their permission spell, and Noxious my Bazaar, and Therapy them off the token from my Grief. And that will be 2 cards gone and I'm back on Bazaar with the Hollow one in play if they do Wasteland me. If they don't Wasteland me, then I guess what Dredge 3 looks like. That's not a Wasteland. That is a Mana Crypt. So they are another PO deck. Okay, you can relax. No, they don't want to relax. Petal means it's a breach list though. Which means my Noxious has like a large amount of text in my upkeep. They buy Lurrus. They play Lurrus. Okay. They play Lotus. And that's that. That's all they've got to say for now. So let's just dredge 3. I hit a Narcomoeba and a summon Bahamut. What do I want to do? I don't have a dredger. Right, they're never blocking a hollow one. I'm going to grief them off of my shell. Grief gets in, which is going to turn on my therapy as well. So they've got Yawgmoth's Will, Flusterstorm, Manavolt. So I will take your Flusterstorm. I'll get a bridge token. I will therapy you off of Narcomoeba and take your Yawgmoth's Will. Now I will put your Lotus Petal on top of your deck. So you're holding Manavolt Island. I'll flip some cards over, hope for a dredger. Just get that out of the way. I get a hollow one and a dread return. I could dread return a Grief, I could dread return Icarid, I could dread return a summon Bahamut actually. Hang on, I've got a summon Bahamut there. And they can't do anything. Oh my god. Nice Lurrus nerd. Oh, and it's just going to be like a pure organic 9/9 flyer. Oh yeah. It's dead. Put the cat in the bin. I'm coming for your Lotus. Oh, they have a fetch land in play, so I'm just stupid. My bad. Oh man, I can still tie to a breach. Not easy, actually, no. They play a Manavolt. I play a Polluted Delta. Icarid triggers. Icarid eats Grief. Your Manavolt is dead. I attack. You're at 1. You're holding a basic island. Right. Good luck, I guess. They find a Brainstorm. Why? Brainstorm with fetch land. Also, maybe I was supposed to actually kill the Lotus. Then they breach, still gets back Lotus. Oh, they can't fetch because they're at 1. How very funny. But yes, or almost assuredly take Lotus, right? The reason I didn't take Lotus was because it's harder to PO a Lotus than it is a Manavolt. This might be flawed logic. As it stands, I currently have 3 lethal threats in play. And this, chapter 3, is going to cast Divination itself. Which I'm sure you'll agree is quite big. Tough Brainstorm. Okay, Brainstorm resolves. They crack for red. They find the breach. Lotus comes back. And what, you Brainstorm again? Look at one more. But then you can't get onto your Lotus again. Okay, the Lotus is gone. They still have the Petal in the deck to kill with sometime. They get to look at one more card from earlier, so that basic island's still floating around. And they have got access to a land drop this turn. Still. Their breach is now kind of irrelevant. They've got 2 cards in hand. One of them's a merchant scroll that gets brain freeze and we lose. Mother. Oh, they get an ancestral. Why wouldn't you get a brain freeze? Oh, because you just exiled your Lotus? But can't you just petal for like 18 looks at a petal? Okay, 21 looks at a petal then. If you're already holding the freeze. Are they ancestral again? And we win. Okay, interesting that they went for ancestral over getting the freeze off that merchant there, because they had the floating mana after the merchant, right? And then you just mill 18, and if there's a petal there, the game ends. I don't know. I was supposed to kill that Lotus, maybe. Maybe that still doesn't matter. Never mind. I'd like the traps in, just like the full list. So I think 1 Sphinx is fine to go. I think 1 Radstorm is fine to go. I like the Griefs. I think I can cut a bridge actually. I haven't been doing that. Poxwalkers. Up to 2 Thugs. The Shell's coming in as well, so up to 3 Thugs. And then I still need 4 cuts from here. It's like a Therapy, a Bridge. $11, maybe just like 1 less trap, 10 and 10, 61 cards. I hate that for me. Icarid? Sure. Sure. Okay, so we're up a game. I've not played very well this morning, have I? There's been a lot of things that I've missed. This, though, is a powder. I can tell you that with all confidence. And then this is a 0 interaction, turn 1, hollow 1. Blah, blah, blah. Opponent has a Mox Ruby. And an Urza Saga. That's quite good. Ooh, cute. 4 cards left on the opposite side of the table. I activate my Bazaar of Baghdad. I don't find anything massively relevant, so let's go Therapy, Imp. Shambling Shell. Cast a hollow 1. I think I just pass. Flooded Strand, they've got a Saga. There's going to be a 4/4. I'm going to have 2 Bazaars. I'm just going to take a draw step off my Stinkweed Imp to start. Kick things off. Get in for 4. See if opponent wants to trade off. They do not. Okay then. Well, what do you do now? Because when this saga resolves, I'm not going to have a graveyard. So I guess I'm supposed to activate Bazaar of Baghdad and see how far through our deck we can get. So Stinkweed Imp, Golgari Thug, miss on everything. I'm going to go Dread Return, Imp, Imp. How many Poxwalkers is that? Just the 1. And neither of the bridges are here either. So let's go again. Stinkweed Imp, Stinkweed Imp. Dread return, Stinkweed Imp, Stinkweed Imp. Yes, please. Therapy U. Get 2 Poxwalkers. I'm just going to go after Flusterstorm to start, I think. PO, PO, PO. Okay. Well, I might take those. Still don't have a bridge in my graveyard. There's 2 in the bottom 19. This might cause a response from the opponent. Sorry, I should have my graveyard out. What, you PO for 3? So the POs are gone, our opponent is Hellbent. Okie dokie. So they are all in on this Urza's Saga. This is a new card, so I cannot imagine it hits a land. Yeah, no, they hate fun. So what can I do? Just Dread Return the guy anyway. Okay, so I can Dread Return the Bahumati Djinn. Destroy your Ruby. I can Cabal Therapy. Oh no, then I'm down a creature, aren't I? Is there anything that's going to come into play and have like a relevant impact on the game? What does Shambling Shell do? Sacrifice creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Doesn't really do anything. I can Dread Return again. I'll get 2 Poxwalkers back, and I can Dread Return again and get another trigger. Just for the sport of it all, I'll Dread Return a Grave Troll. How big's the Grave Troll actually? Is this just better? For 13/13? But it doesn't have trample or flying. So now I'll Dread Return the Bahamut again. Because he flies, and it's what we're here to play with. So that comes in, and I destroy your Quarry Steelcutter. Or your Lotus Petal. I guess just your Lotus Petal. Although this gives them a Surveil, actually. Oh well. Just go after the mana. They've got no cards in hand. Whatever hate piece they get from us, they get from their deck out of the Saga, is just going to blow up to Chapter 2. Yeah, cool. You'll go then, I guess. Yep, you get a token. They've got 1 card in hand. They can't get the second token. They didn't fetch the Meticulous Archive or Thundering Falls on end step. They float a mana. They can get Lotus. Or they can get a Graveyard Hate piece. Graveyard Hate isn't irrelevant here, but it's also not, you know, incredible. I think I've just punted away all of my Dread returns, so I think my Sphinx is dead. Oh, and we win the match. I've got a 9/9 flyer. Let's go. Nice one. Okie dokie, that's going to be a wrap on this one. I did play the other 2 games in the league, but they weren't particularly interesting or competitive. Got locked out by mono white twice on turn 1. Like Vexing Bauble into Anointed Peacekeeper and Leyline into Vexing Bauble, so that was cool. And then the other match was us getting turn 2'd by PO for 40 minutes twice. So that's going to be a little wrap on the league here. I had fun with it. I think the card is cool. I don't think this is a particularly competitive shell, but it is funny and it is fun to play. The Radstorm thing was cool to proliferate up. I just think if you're going to do a Dread Return combo deck, then you want to be on Grizzlebrands and Thassa's Oracles. The kill is cleaner. There's no fail case because, you know, I didn't have any Icarids come in this turn or whatever. I didn't miss on a Pox Walker, that sort of thing. So if you're going to play Dread Return Dredge, that's where I would be. I didn't register Chalice today. That's clearly a mistake. I think last minute I dropped the Chalice for the second Radstorm because I started to get stressed about the fact I wouldn't have access to a Radstorm. But hey ho. So this was some Summon Bahamut Radstorm Dredge. Please let me know down below if there's any other Final Fantasy cards you think we can play with in Bazaar. And I've got a few others lined up that I'm going to go and play with, so they'll be coming out soon. But yeah, no, thanks for watching, and see you again.